Welcome to bulkreefsupply.com. This is the BRS, carbon, and GFO reactor. Using a reactor like this one is several times more efficient than using the material in a filter bag, and you'll almost immediately notice decreased algae growth with the use of GFO and crystal clear water with carbon use. The reactor comes with a removable cartridge inside, which you can fill with your GFO or carbon. It works on an upflow principle where the water enters through the bottom and will tumble the GFO around. You can also hold carbon at the top with the sponge, or even run both materials at the same time. The single BRS reactor is perfect for the aquarius who's looking to run both GFO and carbon in the same reactor on a smaller or medium-sized tank, or just looking to run carbon or GFO on any size tank. For larger tanks, we have the dual BRS reactor, which has a full-size canister on the left-hand side for GFO, and another full-size canister for carbon on the right. We prefer to have the carbon on the second stage, since it's capable of capturing many of the fines that leave the GFO. This is the newest model of the BRS reactor, which features a plastic bracket and screws. The canister ports and fittings are all half-inch to provide ample flow. They also have this unique swivel action, which allows you to easily place the hose anywhere within your sump or tank. This is an example of a BRS reactor that's running both carbon and GFO at the same time. Note that the carbon is securely held at the top with a sponge and is not allowed to tumble. This is because carbon is a softer material that will create fines if it's allowed to tumble against itself all day. We do want the GFO to tumble, otherwise the particles are prone to solidifying to each other and creating a big block. This is about the rate we like to see it tumble, where most of the action is actually on the very top layer with just a little bit around. I'll turn it up to show an example of what's too high here. You can see the entire bed is fluidized and it's just grinding far too much. This will create more unwanted fines, so we'll turn it down. It should be noted that the tumbling action doesn't make the material perform better, just ensures that it doesn't solidify. And the material will perform best at slower flow rates with longer contact times. The main advantages to the BRS reactor is the heavy-duty construction and ease of maintenance. Maintenance involves simply unscrewing the bottom canister and taking the cartridge to the sink. The unit operates at very low water pressure, so screwing it on hand tight is typically okay. It's easy maintenance like this that actually ensures that you do your maintenance to begin with. People often ask what's the best way to run the reactor and what materials to use. I feel the best way to operate them is actually to use two single reactors rather than one dual. This is because over time debris will accumulate in the carbon and slow down the flow rates. While this won't hurt the carbon's efficiency, it does slow down the tumbling in the GFO, causing you to make adjustments to the flow rate. I personally prefer the lowest amount of maintenance possible, and that's why I run them separately. For many other aquarius, the compact size and the lower initial cost may be what's important, and they don't mind adjusting the flow rates from time to time. When operating in two separate reactors like this, my preferred media is the ROX 0.8 carbon, and the pellets are the high capacity GFO. The pellets will be the most economical choice, but the HC has the advantage of being harder, which means less fines, and because of its high density, the reactor can hold roughly twice as much phosphate removing material when using HC. If you're running both GFO and carbon within a single or dual reactor, my recommendation is to use large lignite for your carbon. The reason for this is pretty simple. It has a larger size that's less prone to collecting debris and slowing down the flow rates, which ultimately means less adjustments and maintenance.